This is Manoj Maheshwari here from Market Ideas for Profit, and here I am with one more video. This video is regarding something that I release on my Telegram channel on a daily basis. So starting here, I will give you a glimpse of my Telegram channel. There are two Telegram channels that I run. One is the normal channel where I float ideas which are not these are the basic ideas where I give you the Nifty and Bank Nifty levels on the daily basis. I give you some analysis on how I see the markets going in form of a YouTube short video, and then there are certain other offerings, and if I feel there's some information that comes to me through the day, I release it on this channel, which is free to subscribe. I will put in the link in the description box, and you can subscribe to this channel. You can join the channel by just clicking on that link. And then we have a premium channel, which is a paid channel where we seek a subscription, where we give you more detail as to how to benefit from the information that I share on the market. So to give you a brief preview of how this looks, let's look at what were the posts on Friday, the 28th of April. So what I give here is, if you see here, this is the level of the Nifty. These are the two resistances and these are the two supports, and I expect Nifty to be within these areas in the day. And then there's a brief plan on the Nifty where I tell you what happened the previous day. This is in form of the remarks for the last session. The R1, R2, S1, S2 levels, which are given in figures. And then I release the maximum open interest, which is the open interest that we have for the day. I give you a brief of what the OI activity of the FII is, the Q that I get from the market. So this is what happened. There were substantial shorts and longs liquidated in the system on the day before. Sideways bar. This is my analysis for the day based on the readings that I get from the OpenEye readings. Now, this is entirely not my view, but this is on the view that I gather from the OI change that has happened in the previous day. So this is not my view, but the view that the OpenEye is giving from the previous day's analysis. And then had we taken this plan and moved according to this plan on this particular day, we would have made 99 points on the Nifty. So this is a summary of all that I release in the day plan. So basically it is finding out support resistance by way of the chart, then finding out support resistance by way of the option chain, and then finally coming out with an analysis and a price based on price action and all the above data. I work out levels from where I see if the price rises, it will go on the higher side, and the prices go lower, which is the trigger, and where can we hope to see it going. So if you see here, this is the data that is generated out of the chart, and then these are the data that are generated out of the option chain. So like I told you, this is the cumulative data, which is as on that day, the previous day. What was the cumulative data? So on the 18,000 calls, this was the open interest, and on the 17,900 calls, this was the open interest. Similarly, on the put side, on the 17,700 call, this was the data, 17,69,000. It is 17 it's more than that actually. And on the put side, at the second highest was at 17,800, which is 110 lakhs. This was 176 lakhs. So this is the data. Now OI increase and decrease is something that happened in the previous session. So in the previous session, on the 17,900 call, this was 31,75,900 open interest was added, and on the 17,850 call, 25,10,000 were added. Similarly, in the previous session on the put side, on the 17,800 strike, 46,86,150 were added, and that way. And if there's any decrease, that decrease is also reflected in this chart. Subsequently, after giving all this detail, I see price action on the chart, I read all this data, and then I release a trade setup for the 27th in my mind, which would then give you a return. So if you see here, for the 27th, I am releasing this data, that as the Nifty crosses 17,826, you aim for 17,858 and higher. Now this is the data for the 27th, right? And this is what I have given on that particular day. Now this is after giving you these trade setups for the 27th for the Nifty, one on the long side and one on the short side. I also go on to report what happened in the previous day based on all the information and the trade setup that I released on the 26th. So whatever trade release that happened on the 26th, this was the result on the previous day's occasion. So if you have a look, this is on the 27th, and I released the data that as it crosses 17,826, we should aim for 17,858 and higher. So now I will take you to the data for the next day, which is the 28th, and here I have the result for the 27th, that as it crossed 17,820, we bought and we could get our targets to 17,919, and that is a 99 point gain that we received on the signal that we got on the 27th day's plan. So this is a gist of what information I give you and how trade setups are generated and how one would act on these trade setups and initiate a buy at 17,920 and aim for a figure which is 17,942, which would be your first target, and then leave the rest to the other target. You could also take a short if it goes below 17,895 and aim that way. So now this is the plan for the 28th, and this is how I would share this information. Now this information can be plotted on a chart too, and how would I want you to plot this on a chart to then understand and make sense of how you can trade given this information. So if you're familiar with charts, now here is how I've represented all the data that I showed you in the plans for the last week. So this is the Nifty chart. It is a 30-minute chart. This is the first day of the week, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th and 28th. So if let us go to the data for the 24th of March. So I'll take you to the data on the 24th of March. Let's go back in our timeline on the premium channel, and I will take you to the 24th of March. I will give you a view of how we moved on that day, and this is the data. Now let's look at this on the 24th. Sorry, this is the 25th. We can go one day earlier. So this is the morning of the 24th. 8:06 is when I released it. I normally release it a day earlier, but this day, because it was a Monday morning and I may have been late on Sunday, so I took my time to release it on the Monday morning. Now April 24th, this is your plan as to how I expect the markets to go. This is my plan. 17,670 is the target that I give you. If it goes beyond 17,670, I want you to stretch your target to 17,723 and higher. Now let's see what happened on that day, and all these markings are already there on the chart. I will show you where they are. So these are the ones, these are the resistance lines, so these will be in the red. These are the support lines, which will be in the blue. There will be a mark at 17,670 and there will be a mark at 17,640. Now let's go to the chart and see how it looks. So this is the chart for the 24th. I'll blow it up for you. So the red lines are the resistance lines, the blue lines are the support lines, and this is the line at which the trigger for the buy alert will come, and this is the trigger for the short alert that will come. So now if you see, these are all released pre-market, and this is what transpired at the during the day. So if you see that the Nifty opened higher and we came down, and as we came down, we took support at the selling level that I had indicated. So the market did not go beyond the selling line that we had, and it took support at the selling line that I had mentioned. So it acted as support, and we started to consolidate near the selling line. And then at one point of time, around 12:15 in the afternoon, we crossed this line and we started to trade higher. Now let's go to a 5-minute chart and see what transpired. So now on the 5-minute chart, let's go to the 24th. So this is your 5-minute chart on the 24th, and if you see here, this is how the price action was. We consolidated between the buying level and the selling level for a very long time. from 9:30 to 12:30, so that's 3 hours of consolidation, and then we finally decided to move higher at 12:30. So what I would do is, after seeing that it has crossed this line, I would, at the end of this 5-minute candle, I would initiate a buy signal. So this is where I would initiate a buy signal. Now there could be two ways to trade. One, I would trade right away at the cross of the next candle, above that candle, that 5-minute candle which crossed that level, or I could wait for a retest of that level and buy in there. So an aggressive trader would buy at this spot, which is 17,675, and a conservative trader would buy at 17,670. And then if you see that we got our target, we moved beautifully through the day, and at the end of the day we were able to capture 101 points in this rally. So this is how I got into the trade, respecting the signal that I released in the morning pre-session, and I could make money by going long. Now let us look. So you see, we gathered 100 points in this session, 101 points basically. So we got 100 points on the long side, in this session. So this gave us 100 points. Now let's see what happened on the next day. So next day, again, your trigger point was this green line, and the red point was the selling point. We probably the indication was that probably there will be a range within which the market will move, and then we'll hit high or we'll hit lower, is what the indication was. And the target was the red line. But if you see, on this day we did not get to our target. So let's look at our plan also to give you an idea as to what our plan looked like. So this is the 24th of, let's look at the plan for the 25th morning. This is the plan for the 25th morning, and if you see, 17,780 is your trigger and 17,723 is the trigger for the short end. So if you see 17,780, I'll take you to 17,780, sorry. This is 17, this is your 25th day. 17,780 is this line, and if you see that we did cross the 17,780 figure, so I would get into a trade somewhere around here, and the trade would fail. The trade would give me about 27 points, but it would come down again, and would what I would normally do is, as soon as I cross 15 to 20 points on my trade, I would put a trailing stop at my cost. So we would go into the plan and face a trailing stop here, and that trailing stop would hit us here, and we would not be able to make this money. Now there are some people who would get out at this level, take partials, but it's not something that everybody will do. Then again we fell down, we went up, we fell down, we went up, and finally again we got a chance to go up, and we did manage to go up another 100, and we did manage to go up another 42 points on this day. And if I realize that this is a choppy day, I will take this trade and I will start booking profits somewhere early, because I know that this is not a trending day and it's a sideways day, so it may not reach our destination. So reading this price action, I could probably scalp 30-40 points here and make a gain. So this is how the third day went, and I did make some money here. I actually made 40 points here. So on this day I accumulated 40 points on this long run. The second time it went up, and this was my accumulation on that day. So adding 100 points here, I got 40 more points here. Now let's go to the third day. The third day was very interesting. Let's look at the plan here again on the third day. This is the 26th of April. Let's go to the 26th of April and the plan that day. Now these are the various charts that I post on the group, which are stock charts which I feel will do well in the coming period. So these are other information that I share through the day. Typically this is what I had predicted on the 22nd of June. This was a head and shoulder, and how the head and shoulders played out beautifully. And from 39.990 we have come down to 28.62. Now it's a long time it has taken for it to come down, yeah, but we have garnered about 1,000 points on this short trade had one taken it, but this is a swing trade, so we're not discussing that today. So there are a lot of charts that I release internally in the day. Now this is the plan for the 26th, which is the third day, and here likewise we have all this information, and I will take you back to that chart and see here what happened was we hit the buying level. We did go up, but there was a failed breakout, so we couldn't make any money here. But right in the initial part of the day, if you realize, the plan said that we should take a short at this level and we should target, this is the first level of that first target. So if you see, we made about 33 points on this down run. It was 33 points was our first target on the short run, and that's what we made. So if you want to look at this chart, so the short it originated 775 and 17,723. So 17,755 to 17,723. So 17,755 was the short origin and 17,723 was the first support. Now look at the support line that I have indicated on my day plan and see how beautifully the support has worked, and then we have seen a rally right up to 17,811. So I will not be able to predict that in my pre-market plan, but as a trader, if I see that there is a support here and if I see that this support is working, I might as well take a long here and ride this entire wave of 82 points by reading the price action and getting my trade. Now this is a beautiful trade. It has taken the support and it has worked beautifully. Now this is something that I could not predict pre-market, because this support was there, but these supports and resistance can be broken. So this is not something that we can predict in the initial phase of the day pre-market, whether this will work or this will not work. These are probable levels of support, and the probability can be utilized by looking at price action. So here if you see, there was a beautiful price action and we found support at the support level that was indicated, and from there we got a beautiful bounce. And even if we did not buy right at the beginning at the line of the support, as we saw the market returning, we probably could have gotten an entry at the cross of the first candle and taken a long somewhere here, and we would have been able to get about 80 points on that day. So this is how we would have utilized this day. Now given that we will not be looking at price action and we will only be looking at the pre-market plan, I accumulated about 30 points here. So let's add 33 points on this day. So 33 points is what I accumulated on this day. So we have a total of 170 odd points for the 3 days that we have operated on Nifty. Similarly, now on the fourth day, which is the 27th, we immediately got a signal where we should have been buying, and if you see, we got our buying area, and though the price kept on going back, what I would have done is I would have booked some partial profits at this level, because the Nifty touched the bar twice and that gave an indication that it could have been a sideways day. So I would probably get about 20-25 points in my first run, and then as the Nifty came back again and touched the price point again, this is another trade that I would have taken here, which then I would have ridden. This is the point at which the second target happened, the second entry happened, and this is the entire range that I would have captured on that particular day. So if you see, this is such a beautiful move that we got out of the signaled price level, the trigger point, and this was 93 points in cumulative, and in addition we got another 22 points. So this in total gave us 125 points on this particular day. So if you see, this was a beautiful day and we could accumulate 125 points on this day. 125 points is a huge amount of move on the Nifty, and that was a beautiful trade that we got on the 26th. Now coming to the 27th was a peculiar day where we had a huge gap up. Now my signal originated at this point, which was 17,920. Now 17,920 is something that I said that anything above that you should get into a trade. So the first thing I would do in the morning is to get into a trade at the hitting of 17. But when you see such a huge gap up, most of the time what happens is the gap up is sold into, because everybody who is long at these levels on the previous day and carried their longs will immediately see a huge profit in their screen, and they will want to book. So when you see a huge gap up, this is not the right point that one should buy. But if you heard this adage that if I have given you this as my support, as my resistance, anything that is given as a resistance and is broken, it will act as a support. So if you see that the first the topmost support that I gave, the resistance that I gave, was broken on the long side by the gap up, and then now it turned into a resistance, because everybody who had sold, put up a sell target here, would then have to cut down their losses, and they would want, as soon as the origin of the trade would come, they would cut out their losses and start squaring up their trade here. So I would then start going long on a particular point. I would obviously stay bullish because I'm above my buying level. I'm looking for an opportunity where I will then be able to sneak into that buy. So there could be two things I could do. One is I could wait for the price to retrace back to 17,920 from where I would buy, or I would then look for some price action which would tell me that there's a buying that is possible to happen. So there are two levels at which buying can happen on the price action that I see on the market. One is I could have bought it at this level, where after going down it retraced back to this level, and on the return journey up, once this level was breached, that gave me an indication that the market is going to go higher. The other indication could have been this resistance line, the second resistance line, which once broken turns into support. So it got broken on the top side and became support. Now here, anybody who reads price action would consider this a support and buy right here. But this is how the operators work. They know how the market is read by technical traders like us, and they would want everybody who's bought here to be stopped out. So they would push the market down, cover all the stop losses, and then take it higher. But people who are aware of these kind of traps would then probably let the support be broken and see and wait for a confirmation to take a trade from this support line on the higher side. So in my case, since I understand the psychology of the operators, I initiated my buy at this price, and I added some more buys at this price after I saw that the confirmation has happened. So I scaled in with some more option or with some more buying, and finally, if I would have been patient, I would have gotten a run from 18,987 to 18,126. Now this is a huge rally. Which would have taken me from this price to this price, and which is 140 points. The huge 140 point run that we got on that day. This is an amazing run. So if you see, we got 138 to 140 points out of this rally. So again, the signal that you should be buying after the cross, after the market is above this price point, gave its value to whoever followed the plan, and we could make 140 points on this day just by reading the market and using a little bit of price action, and making money from the information that is shared. So if you see, for the entire week, what is the outcome? I would probably make 140 points here. As I see, I actually made about more than 140 because I traded multiple lots. So in total, if you see in these last 5 days, just reading these signals, we have gained 140 plus 125, that's 265. 265 plus 33 is around 300, 340 and 440 points. So in a week's time, we have made 140 points out of the Nifty trade. Now this video is getting really long, but this is the way I would want you to understand the quality of the levels that I release and how you can benefit out of that information. Now here you don't need to look at any strategy, you don't need to look at anything. Yes, you need to have a little bit idea on the price action, and you could make good. Now even if you don't know how to read price action, the only trade that you could have missed out here is this 140 points. If you suppose you realized that the market is opened higher and you would start buying here at this point, even if you bought here and then left the market to do its own bit, you would still have made 100 points on that day, even if you would not have captured the right point of entry, even if you had just read the information and entered at the open. Even at the open, if you would entered, you would make about 100 points just following that information that is given on the plan. So this is the idea in that I want to communicate through this video, that the information that I provide on these daily levels are working beautifully, and we are making money on the charts every day. The video has gone really long, and I would release a second part of the video where I discuss the Bank Nifty on the same day. And if you still want to check on the Bank Nifty performance, you can go to the next video and check the Bank Nifty performance there too. So the initial explanation of the way the day plan is released is going to be the same as the one that you see in this video, but subsequently, like I've covered the Nifty, I will be covering the Bank Nifty in that video, and you could go and look at that video if you still want to be further convinced that in the same period, how did the Bank Nifty perform on the levels that I gave. Thanks for looking at this video. It has been a little long video, but then to do justice to what I need to explain to you and to convince you to read these levels and follow these levels, I brought this explainer video so you can take benefit of the information that is passed on to you on a daily basis. Now, to be frank, you can utilize this information without subscribing to my main channel. This is the normal channel where I release the chart levels, and then without explaining a lot, I release this video on this short video which is on YouTube and which is free for you to access. And I'll just give you a 1-minute preview of this video, so have a look at it. This is the video. I will give you the previous day's report here, what happened on my plan on the previous day, which was the 27th. So this is the video for the 28th. This is for the Friday. So this is the video which will give you the levels. These are the chart levels, and this is the plan. So this is a plan without the OI data. It just tells you above this level go buy, below this level go sell. I'll repeat the same thing for Bank Nifty in the same video. Again the chart, and then the levels. So if you see above 43.40 buy, below 42 980 sell. So you get this information free of cost too. But at the end of the day, what I want you to do is to get all the information that you require to do well in your trading, and the additional information is available on the premium channel, where not only do I give you a plan, I explain the open interest data, I explain everything to you, and then besides that I keep on giving you information through the day. So if you consider say on the 24th, I've been sideways for the session, maybe some explosion may occur soon. So if you read around 12:24, if you see, I've already mentioned that the explosion might happen. Now mark this is the 24th of April, timestamp 2024, and I'm saying Bank Nifty have been sideways for the session, maybe some explosion may occur soon. What side will go is a $1 million question. My take should go higher in spite of the high negative delta. Now read this is the 24th of April, and this is what happens on the chart. Let's go to the chart now. This is the chart. This is the 24th of April. Now let's go to 12:30. we are at this juncture here at 1224, and this is the information that I give at 1224, and look at what happens in the candle at 1230. We immediately break the buying level that we created, and that's immediately we see an expansion in the range. This was the range that was being formed. If you see, this was the range. We were in a sideways market until 1224. I saw a movement in the market, and at 1224, reading some more data that I have, that I read with other signals that I get, I was expecting an explosion, and look at the explosion we got, and the resultant move, which gave us these 102 points. So if you follow me on my premium channel, you will get the right idea as to when you should trigger it. So we have broken out of consolidation thing. Yes, small longs now and rest on the retest. So like I told you, I will take a small long now, and then when the retest happened, I took the larger thing, and we booked all partials. The trade is choppy. The trade was still choppy. We booked some partials, and there's some information on the bank nifty. Then we had a beautiful trade on REC on that day. So looks to be breaking out of a channel. Now look at REC on that day. Okay, and this was a channel that was being formed on this day. This was a channel that is being formed, and there was some breakout that I was watching, and subsequently what happened in REC. This is another signal that I was generating. I had released some signals on CanBank on the 5th of April, and from 2 to 287 we have reached 303. That's a 16-point gain in Canara Bank on a futures contract in a matter of 20 days. So I keep tracking the trades that I keep on giving. And Indian Hotels, similar story. I see a breakout at 338, and the target is 349. I posted this on that day, and you can see for yourself as of today when I'm typing this, we have a beautiful trade, and Indian Hotel has gone up to 349. It's nearly hit its target. It's not reached 349, but it nearly hit its target in Friday's trade. So if you want me to go back and show you, just in case you are interested, let's see, let me duplicate this tab, and let's go to Indian Bank. What I'm trying to do here is establish the reading that I have. So Indian Hotels, let's go to Indian Hotels. I'll go to the future. No, I'll go to the so this is my trade. Now let me go back to, this is the channel that I usually use for Indian Hotels. This is another trade, beautiful trade that I gave on Kotak Mahindra Bank. And see, since we are on this chart, see that the release was on Feb 3rd, somewhere around here, and I said that if it crosses 1782, we will hit 1930. We did not cross it for a very long time, and we finally crossed it on this day, on the 11th of April. And as we crossed it, we reached our target immediately. So as we crossed it on that day, we probably had a false breakout somewhere in between, but eventually when we crossed it strongly with a gap up, we hit our target. Now let's look at India Hotels, and I would just want to take you back to this chart here. So if you see, we gave the signal on the 24th of April again. This was the day, and we literally got to our targets and fell from there. So I mean, yeah, we did not hit 349, we hit 348. We fell short by 1 rupee, but most of the time if we see some price action like this, we would book out. We would not wait for 349 to be specific. We would book out somewhere in between. Even if it's not at 348, we would see 345 and we would book out there. So this is a trade that gave a beautiful target. So if you see, these are things that we release. This is information that I share on the premium channel, and it is useful. Again, here if you see LIC Housing Finance, I've been releasing a target at 334, and we are somewhere around 342 already. Go back and read your charts. We have already crossed 342. Let's verify this. LIC Housing Finance. So let's go to the chart again here, and let me take you to the chart of LIC Housing Finance. Here we go. LIC Housing Finance, LIC Housing. We don't want to go to the futures, we want to go to the NSE chart. And if you see here, this is the price action. this is where I released my levels on the 5th of April, and we've already hit 342. We hit 342 actually on the 25th of April itself. And then I got another opportunity on LIC Housing Finance on this day, after it crossed, it had not crossed 342, and there was some another opportunity that came in, and I initiated a small long here, though by this reading it would have taken a stop loss, but I initiated it somewhere here, and I got another, you can say, 6 points intraday on LIC Housing Finance on the 28th or 27th and 28th of April is where, on the 28th actually I took it, and I got about 6-7 points on LIC Housing Finance on this day too. So the information on the premium channel is very useful, not only on the day plans, also on various other trades that we get. I keep on releasing this information, and you could take advantage of the information on the channel. Now, what is the amount that you need to pay to get into this, get subscribed to this channel? So this is the plan, and we have released a plan sometime earlier in this week, which is the beginning of April, and I will give you a preview. I'll post the link of the plan in the description, and you can have a look at the plan, and if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe to the plan. The latest, or maybe I have posted it, but there are so many things that I post that keep forgetting. Yeah, so this is the day, this is the latest plan, $14.99 per month and $9.99 if you sign up for a 12-month plan, $14.99 if you plan for a quarter. You have to pay for 3 months in advance, yearly in advance, so you get a huge discount of more than 33% if you sign up for 12 months, and this is the amount inclusive of GST. You can simply scan this QR code. The link of this QR code will be posted in the description, and you can subscribe to this plan. Now, for a small amount of $14.99 per month, I'm sure you can make a lot of money just by following the signals that I've given you. Yes, this is more like a tip service at the moment, but understand, I have more things to offer. I will explain how I get to these levels also, and we have an educational content which also is available for a price. You can get in touch with me on a one-on-one on the Telegram channel, and I will share the details, and you can sign up to understand how I get these levels and how I bring up and curate these trades, and in a matter of 2 months time you can yourself learn to curate these trades. Now, there are 2 things that I use. I use the volume profile, the market profile, and the order flow. These are 3 things that I use for the intraday, and I use market profile and volume profile for my swing trades. These are the tools that I use, plus my understanding of the price action is all I need to make money from the markets. I am more than willing to share all this information with anybody and everybody who wants to learn the art of trading. It's a beautiful art, and once you learn this art, you can become self-reliant. The best thing about learning to trade is you don't depend on anything. You don't need a team to do well in your life. You can do it on your own, and that's the best thing, because there's an adage that everything is under control except the human psychology, human behavior. So if you have to handle people, that's one that can drive you nuts. If everything is under your control and you have the art of controlling your own thinking process, that's the best scenario that anyone can have to succeed in life. So this is the gist of everything that I wanted to share. It's been a long video, but there's a lot of information that I need to share, and I hope all the information that I've given you is useful, and you will be drawn to join with me, and let's make a journey that makes us financially free. Look forward to hearing from you. All the details required to get in touch with me are in the description link.